Have you ever wondered how mankind went from this to this? Now, how about amphibians or fishes? Let's talk about evolution. Evolution tackles the gradual change in an organism's genetic trait over a period of time, such as their skin color, hair color, shape, and internal structure. It's really considered as a part of the characteristics of life, and proof or signs of evolution are showcased by the means of direct observation and fossil records. Organisms may actually undergo the four mechanisms of evolution, which are natural selection, genetic drift, mutation, and gene flow. Now, let's actually tackle these four mechanisms to further understand the process of evolution. Natural selection, one of the key points in the theory of evolution of Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace, basically screams survival of the fittest. Sounds pretty intense, right? It refers to how organisms that are well adapted to their environment have a higher survival rate than those that are less adapted. An example of natural selection is how giraffes with the longer neck are more likely to have a higher survival rate than those with shorter necks, since they have more access to food. Therefore, more giraffes with longer necks will be reproduced in the future. Now, genetic drift, on the contrary, is survival through chance or luck. It refers to the change in allele frequencies within a population, where smaller populations are greatly affected. Now, we must take note that alleles are the alternative form of a given gene. Let's take fishing for an example. Imagine an ocean consisting of blue, red, green, and yellow fishes. If a group of fishermen was able to catch all of the red fishes, the genetic variation will go from having 4 alleles to 3 alleles. Hence, it is expected that no red fishes will be reproduced from now on. Let's move on to mutation. Mutation synthesizes a new DNA sequence. In other words, there's a change in the genetic information that can either be dangerous or advantageous for the organism. It is considered as the number one source of genetic variation that can be initiated randomly or have certain factors for it to occur. Lastly is gene flow or gene migration. It pertains to the process of transferring genetic material between two populations. If an organism breeds with another organism from a different population, a new allele is introduced to the allele frequency. Organisms ought to evolve in order to adapt and survive because the world undergoes continuous changes. Who knows what the animals that we know will look like in 1,000, million, and even billion years? Think about it. Pigs growing wings and having the ability to fly, deers growing more antlers, and more fishes possessing limbs instead of fins. Let's just see what's stored in for us in the future.